I love being a YouTuber, and there's a lot of reasons why. From the freedom to chase wild adventures, to the amazing community that feels like I have friends and families all around the world. Oh, and let's not forget free gear. Yup, companies actually send me stuff for free. Like this $1,200 e-bike and the matching shoes I'm wearing. Now before you start thinking I'm selling out, I don't take any financial payments for products because I want to keep things completely honest. If it's awesome, I tell you. And if it's junk, I tell you, it's junk. But it's not all sunshine and free toys. There are trolls and angry comments, videos that flop after you poured your heart and soul into them. And there are days where you wonder what the heck you're doing. So in this video, I'm going to explain to you why I love being a YouTuber. The good, the bad, and the ridiculous. Let's dive on in. I started my YouTube channel, Adventureman Dan, 10 years ago, really with the sole intention of spearfishing. I wanted to travel around the world and I wanted to make all sorts of connections, and it worked really well for that. Before I knew it, I was in New Zealand, and I was actually writing for a few different magazines, and I was having just the time of my life, and I was connecting with a lot of people in New Zealand, Australia, South Africa. It was a really good time for me. I would put literally weeks into a single video, and they would turn out really good, and they would do really well, but I just kind of got burned out and I didn't put as much consistency into it as I should have. Then in 2018, I bought my sailboat Adventureborne and everything changed. I became more of a sailing YouTuber, and that long, nearly 2-year streak where I hadn't put out hardly any content really came back to bite me as I had to restart my YouTube channel. But a couple years later, the channel was back up and running, and I finally decided to monetize it only about 4 years ago. Then about a year after monetizing it and putting a little more work into it, I started realizing just how many sponsorships I was going to be getting and how big this was going to become. So I decided to stop trying to take odd jobs or save up money and focus on YouTube full time. Again, this is only after about 7 years of doing YouTube. And now I look at YouTube as my full-time job. This is what I do day in, day out. There's not a day that goes by that I don't check it. Alright, this is the first and biggest reason why I love being a YouTuber, is I get to follow my passions and I have the unlimited freedom to just go anywhere and do anything. Now there's some drawbacks to that, as in if I make content about cars, my following will not watch it. But if I'm doing sailing, if I'm doing something adventurous, and sometimes even an oddball video will sneak out and do well. And that's just so much fun, to be doing something you're already enjoying, and then the video goes viral, or you're able to make a connection from it. That passion and that freedom just, it fuels me to keep going on to the next one. As well, it allows me to turn my adventures into storytelling, and something that lets me relive it again is just cherry on top. On a good day, it doesn't feel like work. It feels like I'm living the life I want to live, and then I get to share it with others as well. It drives me to go to new places and do things. You know, there's certain days where I wake up on my sailboat and I need more footage. Maybe it's underwater, maybe it's of lobsters or something, who knows. But it forces me to go out of my comfort zone, and then while I'm out there, oh, I see another thing, oh, and then I find this, oh, and then I find that, and you just never know where it's going to lead you. So that kind of fun of like being pushed out your front door, like you have to go do this thing in a positive way, it's really great. And then on top of all of that, every now and then I'll get a message from somebody or an email, and sometimes it can be many paragraphs long, but they'll be inspired by what I've done and they want to go do it themselves, or they're just saying thank you. And that feels so good to know that I'm having a positive influence on the world. Alright, yes, a big part of this video that everybody watched for was that cha-ching. Can we get that sound effect? Perfect. Yes, the gear and the sponsorships is really, really cool sometimes. It definitely can feel like work, but I'm in a unique spot, I think, where companies will message me very frequently. They're usually pretty good. I would say it's like 50-50 on whether it's going to be legit and something I want, or something that's just totally bogus. Maybe it's a scam or whatever. So there is like a little bit of sifting through things. But like I said, I just got a new e-bike today. That's great. A couple months ago, I got a different e-bike. That was great too when I got that. Unfortunately, that e-bike just stopped working, so I can't really recommend that anymore. That's kind of how the ebb and flow goes. Now, they don't always message me. When they do, I find it's a lot easier because I don't have to go through and be vetted by their people. So you have a company that makes surfboards. You are going to get messages from everybody who wants to go surfing saying, hey, I have a little social media page, will you sponsor me? And it gets to be pretty bad. I know a lot of people that are in the industry, whether it be my wetsuit sponsors or my spearfishing sponsors, things like that, and I've heard a lot from them. So it can be difficult when there's a product that I want that I have to reach out to. Thankfully, once I think you reach over about, I would guess, like 50,000 subscribers, it really depends, you have a lot more leverage when you go to message these companies. For example, one of the favorite things I've ever messaged for was this. They didn't reach out to me, I reached out to them. The Bat Ballista crossbow, I absolutely love this thing. I saw this and I just thought to myself, man, this would be cool to have. Also, I could see a lot of content creation being made around it. And that's what I did. I just started messaging them, telling them about all the cool ideas I could think of for this thing, and especially its ability to be, I mean, in my opinion, the best legal self-defense on an international sailing sailboat. So in short, most of the companies reach out to me. I never really know what I'm gonna get, but I have to be pretty quick to start working with them. I've noticed a lot of the companies are Chinese-based, so they're using a translation service, and that can be kind of interesting sometimes. For example, probably one of my favorite sponsorships of all time, certainly I think the biggest by dollar amount was Subnado. So it started out from a joke on my part, turned into 14 of these underwater jets. Each one of these has like 15 pounds of thrust, and the new ones they just sent me closer to 20 pounds of thrust. So they are cool, and this is, I mean, what could be more Adventureman Dan than underwater jets that you could strap to yourself? I mean, just check out some of the footage. I remember when they sent me this stuff, I was in St. Martin in the Caribbean, and I think the bill for me just to receive it, like for the shipping side of like the courier, which only went from Miami to there, was like $300 or $400 or $500. It was insane. It was 110 pounds worth of stuff. That's how much stuff they sent me. It was crazy. And then recently, and this is where really being a YouTuber is awesome, they just sent me 2 of these. These are brand new ones. Just so you guys know, these things are like $500 a piece. And you'll notice it's still in the wrapper, and I'm sorry Subnado, but I don't live near clean water right now, so I haven't had the chance to go do it, so sorry Subnado. But I am planning some trips, so I do want to get some use out of these. I mean, being 20% stronger or 25% stronger sounds pretty good to me, so really excited. This is definitely one of those things where it's like you could keep making content all day with it. And I will say right now, if I'm being totally honest, I've kind of let down a few sponsors. The first one that comes to mind is Insta360. They sent me their X2 and then they sent me their X3 cameras. And like, I got footage for me, but I just didn't do a good job getting footage for them. And as I've been doing more sponsorships throughout my like YouTube career, I've been able to talk with other YouTubers that I've met, and I remember like in specifically Raph and Sasha, Spirit Animal, like I was showing them the Subnados and they were like, nope, we don't have time for it. And they were on a completely different path, and I get that now. Like, you don't want to just take every sponsorship because you have to now have a commitment with them. You have to do work, you have to make the video, it has to be so good. And just to give some of you guys that might be thinking about doing YouTube channels so you can get free stuff, it's hard enough to get a good enough channel that you can do that with to begin with. Then it's hard to get a good enough channel that they'll send you things for free and not charge you. Then the next step is they pay you. I'm certainly past them paying me, but I don't do it for a couple reasons. One, and this will blow a lot of your guys' minds, I have never signed anything for any of the sponsorships I've ever been sent. Nothing. Every gear, everything has always just been an email like, hey, yep, I'll make a dedicated video with it. Yep, I'll make content with it. Don't worry. And like I said, with the exception of Insta360, and I'm sorry Insta360, I'm still using, I got an X4 now, but I had to pay for it because I was an idiot. But like, man, I mean, it's just, yeah, it's a lot of work, and you got to be on top of it. And I can't imagine actually going into contracts for some of these, because a lot of times the company will message me and say like, hey, we want to sponsor you with this knick-knack or this, like, here's our thing. And it'll be like, we expect like 10 high quality photos within a week. Then we want like the first dedicated video within 2 weeks, and an integrated video after that, and then short form. And they want like 8 different things by the time you're done. And I've just been like, no. Here's what I'll offer you guys. And this is what I tell them, as I'm like, hey, to keep it honest, I don't charge any money, so you guys can't pay me. And that already takes a lot of the screws out. And from the business point of view, like, I don't know what the overhead is on one of these Subnados, but it's definitely not even close to $250. So they're making good money on these for sure. So for them to get effectively like almost free advertisement by going through a YouTuber, it's a really good deal. And that's something you guys gotta understand is like, there is, I think like Kim Kardashian, funny enough, made it the most famous, but there is so much advertising power going with creators, because you see what they do, and they're a real person, there's nobody over them, pulling the strings. I mean, I upload my stuff to YouTube, but YouTube never messages me. I don't know how to even get in contact with anybody on YouTube. It's just a big, giant platform. So we're very honest, or at least we can be very honest. And obviously when you get into like the supplement stuff, be a little bit more wary, but yeah, it's a whole wild world that you can really dive into. All right, the next thing I want to talk about real quick about why I love YouTube so much is it's not as simple as how many subscribers do you have, which I think is what most people think. It is way more complicated than that. And I'll ask you this for an example, like what do you think makes a good YouTube channel? Is it good content? Is it good, good views? Like they have a lot of views overall on their channel? Is it a couple viral videos? Is it a lot of subs? Is it, subscribers? Is it a lot of revenue? Is it how many sponsors they get? Is it their watch time? There's so many analytics I could tell you guys about, and YouTube is really good. Like I have all these features on the content creator page that I can go through. I can see when people stop watching, like I can see all these things. And I'll just cut to the chase for you guys. Like what makes a good YouTube channel? There isn't a set one. Obviously, a high subscriber count, solid regular viewership is really important. A big viewership too with their consistent viewership, and then a lot of watch time. Those are like the four. And when you go to click on the YouTube creator page, that's what it shows you. It's like how much you're growing by subscribers, how much your view count is for that month, like how much you're generating each month, your watch time for that month, and then how much money you're making. So a lot of content creators, obviously they care about the revenue they're making. That makes a ton of sense. One of the ones I like to look at the most is what is my watch time? And the way I like to think about it is this. It's pretty unfair, I think, when you look at like maybe TikTok or Facebook is really bad about this. They'll put like a view counter for anybody who's even like swiped by. And you think for short form vertical content, which is what a lot of content is nowadays, like it's not very engaging. Like you're not really getting to connect with your viewer, and they're just kind of swiping by. So they might have 5 million views, but like 5 million views of a passing glance at 2 to 3 seconds, like that doesn't really mean much. Versus when I've got a good video and it has like, average view 11 minutes. Like, yeah, it'd be great if they watched the whole 20-minute video, but still, that's a lot of engagement. And so I think it really varies from person to person. Now, obviously in this video, I'm talking a lot about the stuff, like what kind of cool goodies are you getting? So what makes a good channel to get that is kind of an interesting question. Like, what is a good channel that will attract a lot of sponsors? I would say, honestly, it needs to be like sort of family friendly. That's something I've noticed is like if you do a lot of TNA, it's a lot harder to get sponsorships. Obviously, once you get like a certain size, it just doesn't matter. You can just do whatever you want. And the algorithm changes once you get to be a certain size too on your channel. Like you can really just start putting out kind of whatever. And as long as you're consistent and it's high quality, you'll do pretty good. But I noticed though, a friend of mine, when we met, it was like 5 times bigger, like subscriber count page. And I had just gotten my dinghy for free. I was in St. Martin, so I was just getting literally all these things sent to me. And he was like, dude, why? It's like, why aren't they sending me anything? Like he had just a way bigger channel. And the truth is I really don't know why. I honestly think that I think my content's good, sure. But I think that my channel is just in some sort of an algorithm, or there's some Chinese-based company that's just putting my info to every other factory, and they all want me to test their stuff so it gets some views, so it gets their product out there, and so they can also have their product tested. That's my best guess. But yeah, not all channels get sent ridiculous stuffs. I remember one month, I think I averaged it was $25,000 or $28,000 worth of stuff that was just sent to me. It was ridiculous. I was literally everything from the Subnados was a big portion of that, to I remember I was getting back pillows sent to me. One company was hey, test these back pillows. I was like, sure, send them, we'll see what happens. Yeah, so it can be kind of crazy sometimes, and I do get requests for things like window curtains, toilet seats, so there's things I turned down. This kind of goes hand in hand. What is actually my favorite part of being a YouTuber is the connection I get to have. So being able to connect with people all over the world. And what's really cool is eventually traveling, because I'm a traveling YouTuber, that's a big part of what I do. Traveling, getting to go see them, I can't describe it. The other thing that's really been really fun too is when I had a crew member of mine named Dylan come to see me, actually was in St. Martin as well, he had watched every video that I had. He knew exactly who I was, he knew where everything was on the boat, he knew how to operate the dinghy, and we were able to just get up and go. And that was so cool to feel like I was in the company of an old friend, despite the fact that I'm a solo traveler, traveling around the world. So I have all the freedom of traveling, but then I still have community everywhere I go. That's cool. Put yourself out there and you have a little bit of thick skin, you will meet like-minded people. You will meet people that you really enjoy spending time with, and they really enjoy spending time with you, and it's just hard to beat that. And then when I'm not traveling, the other way I really get to see and feel this is some of the comments and some of the emails I'll get sent. This one the other day, this guy messaged me, just like, he actually, I think it was an email, it was really just like defending me about somebody on a video where I said, I'm gonna go hunt a goat. They said like, how dare you show you killing a goat? And again, I'll talk about this stuff in a minute. But like, the guy was just there, he was like, man, people are this, people are that, and like, it felt really nice to have somebody standing up for me. And so between people that are inspired, people that might stand up for me when there's one of the, you know, one of the haters, one of the trolls, like, that feels amazing. All right, obviously it's not all sunshine and rainbows. It's really not. When you're starting out a YouTube channel, like a whole lot of nothing tends to happen. If you can cross-pollinate other platforms, you can kind of skip that phase. I think I had a Facebook page by the time like I first started, so it helped kind of boost me up a little bit. But like when I got into sailing, I remember it was just like nothing. So like starting out your channel can be really, really difficult. And then as well, like when you do have an established channel, maybe you want to take a break because you're getting burnt out or like just anything, it can hit you hard. Like the channel just won't respond when you come back. Or what I've done, honestly, too many times, I've taken breaks and then I've changed my niche. I've gone from spearfishing to sailing to like more general adventure, and you guys see what I'm gonna do next. I'll probably lose another 10,000 subscribers. But that's like part of the game that you gotta be ready to play. By far though, the biggest downside to having a YouTube channel, and especially your YouTube channel being a large part of your life, and especially putting your name in your YouTube channel, is the comments and the messages that you might get. The comments can be brutal. Oh my gosh. I'm thinking the only reason there isn't more videos about this is people just don't want to give it any attention. They don't want to give it any energy, and I totally get that. But it's worth talking about, and a lot of people know. I mean, sometimes you see a video, and I do it too, I'm like, oh, I wonder what people are saying in the comments on this one. Wonder if anybody else caught this, but like, the number of people that are just malicious out there. And it took me a while, I think only like the last year did I really realize, like, these people that are saying these things for really like no reason, they just don't have anything else going on in their life. Like, they are sitting on their butt, they're not happy with their job, and maybe their wife's yelling at them, like, who knows what it is, maybe their husband's yelling at them, like, maybe their kids are yelling at them, somebody's yelling at them, and they're feeling powerless, they're just feeling like life is not going their way. But they go on YouTube and they see somebody, and especially if you catch me on the right moment, it looks like everything's wonderful for this guy. And you guys, seriously, it's not always wonderful. I can't say that enough. Like, I definitely need to do a better job at posting and making content when things aren't going my way. Like, right now I'm struggling. Right now I'm going through a whole ton of things. I just don't like to talk about it. I just don't want to make a video about it. But like, that's the truth. Like, our lives aren't that great. But then this person on a couch who's angry at life and hating, they want someplace to vent their anger, and someplace where they can vent it with zero consequence. Comment section. Now don't get me wrong, YouTube is not nearly as bad as Facebook. Facebook just doesn't go anywhere. Like, there's just no incentive as a content creator to be on Facebook. That's why I got off of it. Like, where was it going? I think I had like 25, 22,000, subscribers on Facebook, and posts would get, like millions of interactions and things like that, or be seen. I forget how the Facebook analytics were weird and honestly not reliable in my opinion. YouTube stayed pretty consistent, but like, yeah, no, I mean, people will just lash out over the tiniest things. And even the little picture I put at the intro, that was ChatGPT. I didn't even bother looking through my comments to find some mean ones. Oh, they're there. I don't doubt that they're there. Once in a while, if I see one that's like really malicious for no reason, I'll just hit, I don't know if you guys know this or not, like those of you that watch my content that don't like my content, but you still watch my content anyway, because I know there's quite a few people, unfortunately. I hope your guys' life improves. But the reason why nobody can comment on those people's comments anymore is YouTube was really smart. They made a feature for creators. Instead of deleting comments, you just hit hide, I think it's like hide channel from your page, basically. So all it does is, like, if you comment like, this person's stupid, I hope they die. Like, pretty mean. Well, it takes us 2 clicks. So click, like one for options, another one just like done. They're just in the ether. Like, you can't, nobody else can see their comments but them. So they can keep throwing all their hatred. They can, like, who knows what they've tried to say on my page after that, or anybody else's page for that matter. But nobody can see it. And so it's pretty great. They get to vent their anger. Nobody else has to deal with their negativity. Like, it's just a win-win. So once in a while I'll hit that one, and I just feel kind of good. But like, honestly, I'm kind of at the point where I don't really have the time to go through all my comments anymore. People are commenting on videos that are years old, so it'll stack up every single day. And I think right now, I think I'm like 8 months behind on comments, because I used to be like really, really on it, but you know, if I had to spend 3 hours at least a week just to go through comments, a lot of it's just hitting heart and a thumbs up. It's not even interacting with it. It just got to be too much. So I am sorry for people that I'm not like interacting directly with you guys, because I do miss that. I do miss like the one-to-one communication with everybody. But I mean, like, I think at a certain point your channel just outgrows that. If you do want to connect with the creator directly, myself included, just go to their Patreon. That's a really easy way. We've all got emails attached to our YouTube channels. I still do Instagram, it's just easy. It just doesn't take any work. So I've still got an Instagram. And all right, the next major downside about being a YouTuber is when a video flops. So a really good example I can think of, and I put a quick little bit of it in the intro, was I was in the Dominican Republic and I was working with all these dogs at the Coconut Hound Haven, this dog sanctuary. And this dog I was working with, I love this dog, Prada. It was half purebred German Shepherd, husky, thick fur, looked more husky than anything. The plan was to hopefully get this dog adopted to like Canada. That was actually a pretty regular thing that they would do. And I worked with this dog for like a month. I mean, I would be there multiple times a week. I was just so much training. And I eventually was like, okay, let's take this dog out of the sanctuary. The dog had like barely ever in his life been away from the sanctuary. And they run a great place there, especially for the resources they got. They do an amazing job. I took the dog out. I took the dog like on the water. The dog kept like jumping in. It had never seen water before. Didn't really know what to do. So it was a whole day. I loved it. I had a lot of fun. I filmed a ton. I don't mean to complain about actually taking the dog out. That was the great part. The tough part is the editing for days on end. And that's one of the worst downsides about, actually I would say for me where I'm at now, if I didn't have to edit, I would just be so happy. I would be filming every day. I'd be doing all sorts of stuff. But you guys have no idea how long it takes to edit a video. Like that intro you guys watched took me 6 hours to make. Like I had to script it out, I had to get all the content, like to go over it, I had to pick out the music, I had to adjust everything, I had to do some color corrections, I had to actually film it. Whew, it's a lot. Anyway, I do all that. I make this video about this dog Prada, and I'm like, I'll put it out to my YouTube channel. I included my sailboat at least for a little bit. Somebody's gonna click on it, 'cause it has a little bit to do with sailboats. No, it did like 500 views. I literally took the video down, shortened it, put it back up, like 400 views. It did horrible. Silver lining, somebody from Canada saw the video and did adopt the dog because they kept watching that video, and in the video you see what an amazing dog Prada was. But yeah, it's super, super heartbreaking when you put all this effort into a video and it just doesn't do anything. And then, honestly, it's kind of frustrating too when you don't put that much effort into a video and it does amazing. The best video on my channel was a boat tour, the very first boat tour I ever did on my older sailboat. And it did nothing for like a while, and then one day it just shot up. So the algorithm just has like a mind of its own, and it is really hard to know what it's gonna do. The other downside I would say though is there is one way to make sure the algorithm's gonna do good, and that's have beautiful women in your thumbnail. Doing that and just having women bouncing around in bikinis, pretty much guarantee that will just do amazing. I try to keep my content wholesome, so I try not to do that all the time. Obviously that happens sometimes, but some channels are professionals at that, and honestly people hate on them, but you know what? They do well. People watch them, don't they? Another big downside, piracy, or people stealing your content. I literally just got done going over a sailing YouTube channel. It was this AI bot, you know, ChatGPT written YouTube channel that literally just steals footage from every, even tiny YouTube channels. I mean, I saw one that had like 200, 300, you know, subscribers, and they were taking their footage and just putting it over. That happens a lot, and it's really frustrating. Ooh, another downside that I don't love about being a YouTuber is the cringe factor. Yeah, you'll notice that my videos don't go back as far as 10 years, but there was videos back there, but I can't leave them up. I had to set them to private. They were just too cringy, just not right. And you look back at like your old content and it can be a little bit like, ooh, I can't believe I used to do that, or say it like that, or film like that, or whatever you're doing in the video. So, but even with all those trolls and people stealing your content and people bringing you down and videos not doing well, I still love being a YouTuber. I got a few more reasons why. Getting paid! Yeah. So a big reason why people want to be a YouTuber and why they love it, and to be honest, I definitely like it for that too, is you do get paid for it. And it's kind of crazy to think that just this video, this conversation I'm having right now with you, could lead to me, who knows, affording a new laptop? Okay, probably not a new boat, but if enough of them did well enough, then a new boat, that's really, really cool. I mean, there is definitely more than a few millionaire YouTubers out there and other content creators, And I think that is just so special that you could be, I mean, there's no greater success story than Mr. Beast. I mean, look at him, and like now he's just shooting out there. I love his content. I love going back over his old content. It's really cool to see. So yeah, you can make money, but you should not get into this to make money. And then for a lot of sailing YouTubers in particular, but many other content creators as well, Patreon's been a really big thing. And yes, that's not YouTube, but pretty much what I post to Patreon is going to be YouTube, just early access. Some exclusive stuff too that the public will never see, both on YouTube and then I post. But it's cool mixing those two together, and you get a much more consistent income that way, But again, you guys, don't quit your day job for YouTube. I have known people that literally said that to me, particularly in the Caribbean when I met a lot of islanders. They were all talking about it. And I was like, hey, don't quit your day job, but definitely follow your passion. And that's something to remember, is there is no shortage of people on YouTube that are not doing it for the money. Like, I am definitely one of those. If I didn't make money on YouTube, which sometimes it's felt like that, I'd still be doing YouTube. I love being able to share and connect. So I don't do it for the views or for the money. I do it for the connection and to be able to share and tell my story. So just remember that. Now, YouTube is definitely changing rapidly. For starters, short form vertical media, you know, the shorts on YouTube, and then you got Reels on Instagram, you got Facebook Shorts, and then obviously TikTok. Those are all changing the platform and making everything very different. But there is some things that are helping. For example, AI, it's really language learning models. We don't have true AI yet, but things like ChatGPT, honestly, I use that to help me brainstorm for this script. And I use it for all sorts of scripts. I love using it for that, just to help me lay out all my thoughts super quickly, super easily. Now, the downside of that is, you know, I have channels like the one today that I had to hopefully be able to report and get it taken down, and they're just making content using this stuff. So it's a bit of a downside, but that's how new technology has always been. All right, so in conclusion, my biggest reason why I love being a YouTuber, really the number one, is it kind of gives me permission to go do ridiculous adventures and be experimental in life. And I know that sounds kind of funny, but let me give you an example. Would you think it'd be strange if you went on a normal hiking trail and then you see somebody coming towards you at the trail that has a like green cloak on and like leather armor and maybe like a very, you know, ancient looking recurve bow on them? You'd be like, what's up with this guy? But then if you saw a camera nearby, you'd be like, oh, he's a content creator, he's making a video, no problem. Well, that's kind of one of the ideas I want to do. I want to do like LARPing survivalism. I want to do like real life survivalism, but like in costume, and see like, can you really do it? And to me, that's a really cool idea, but honestly, I'd feel pretty silly if I was just out there doing it for no reason. But if I have a YouTube channel and I'm doing it for that, people are like, oh, cool, I want to be a part of that. And there's always that connection you can make with somebody. It's just so hard to beat. And sometimes with businesses too. Remember when I was going throughout the Caribbean, I made a really great connection with Island Water World, this major chandlery store, and opened all sorts of doors. Things like that are just so hard to beat, and it really gives me a passion to build while I'm traveling. That's something that's really hard to do. Most people that go travel the world, you can't build, you can't really accrue anything. You end up just traveling and that's it. You have your adventures, and that should be good enough. And that is good enough, but I like to do more. I want to be creative while I travel the world, and this gives me that opportunity to do so. So I do want to say a very big thank you to you, the viewer. I owe you guys a lot of gratitude because I wouldn't have all this ridiculous adventures if it wasn't because of you. If it wasn't for YouTube and if it wasn't for you, the viewer, watching it, honestly, my sailing adventures probably would have been a lot more boring. I would have just gone for the bare minimums, and I wouldn't have had the reason to strive and go further, and I absolutely love that. So really, thank you. Thank you, the viewer, for watching my videos, for commenting. Heck, even the mean comments. Something else I didn't mention, but when people put elaborate, long, mean comments, it actually helps the algorithm. It just makes the video more engaging. So either way, if you watch my videos because you love them or you watch them because you hate them, thank you. I really do appreciate it. So if you've ever thought about starting a YouTube channel, I want to say to you this. Pick a niche, go with it, and dedicate at least 10 good videos to it. Get those ready, put them out consistently, and then see where it goes. It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna take a ton of time behind the editing table, and honestly, you're gonna hate it. I'm pretty sure I have like bad carpal tunnel in my right hand, which is ridiculous that of everything I've done, this hand is injured just because of this. But that's what it takes. You gotta put in the time, you gotta put in the effort. Don't expect instant success. And I'd say the biggest thing I'd really recommend if you wanna start a YouTube channel, pick a niche. Pick something specific. Pick something not too specific, but a direction and a storyline that you can follow. And if you are gonna change your niche, I would say do it very carefully, or maybe, like what I'm finally considering doing, starting up a second or even a third YouTube channel. Give it a go, have fun, don't be afraid of where it leads, get thick skin before you do it because you're gonna get some mean comments, it's just the nature of the beast, but enjoy it. Enjoy the process, revel in the success, and don't depend on the success for your next video. So I hope you guys learned something. I hope this video made you guys want to have a YouTube channel, and I'll see you on the next adventures. Cheers. Thanks for joining me on this adventure. I hope you feel inspired to begin adventures of your own. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. For an exclusive, in-depth look at this adventure lifestyle and to further support my channel, become a member of my Patreon crew. Link in the description. I'll see you on the next adventure.